Hello everybody, welcome back to another Gaming with Killatia. Well, today we'll be talking about the Nintendo Switch, the new handheld slash console hybrid from Nintendo themselves. It's powered by a custom-made NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip, which is based off of their popular line of GeForce graphic card. It has about 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and that's really about it specs-wise that we know about the machine. Now, obviously, it's not going to compete graphics-wise with the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. But there's something of a charm with this device. Being able to be like 1 minute, play this in the palm of your hand with the newest and latest racing game, and then in the next minute, plopping it into the dock to play the same game, not just on a bigger screen, but with higher resolutions as well. The device itself has a 720p screen on here, which for a tablet of this size is a-okay. It is also touchscreen as well. Obviously, if games want to be played on TV, they're going to lose the touch capabilities as well. As a matter of fact, there's only one game that really takes advantage of the touchscreen, but because of that, it cannot be played on the TV, so I honestly would not recommend paying $25 for that game. But anyways, like I said, 720p screen, but once docked, it'll be upscaled to like 1080p, and no matter what mode you play it on, your games are gonna look fantastic. Now though, I should mention there may be some optimization issues with some games. For example, with Zelda Breath of the Wild, it seemed to run a little bit more stable undocked than docked to the TV. Not a huge difference, but noticeable nonetheless. But for games like Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, it seemed to run a hell of a lot better docked than in like portable mode. So that's something that you have to consider. But I'm sure these optimizations will iron themselves out when more developers take advantage of the hardware of the Nintendo Switch. Now the device itself, I really have no problem with it. It's small but nicely compact, fits well in the hands, especially when you have the Joy-Con controls connected to it. The build quality is very nice, and obviously has all your slots needed for, like, say, your game cards and such. Like, I have Bomberman Zero inside of it right now. There are people who will complain about the placement of the USB-C port. Someone would have wished for it to be on top, but the top is kind of already crowded. Not to mention there's the ventilation right there. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad. Another issue is with the stand. Yeah, it's kind of flimsy, but as long as you're using it on like a flat surface and not like an uneven one, it'll do the job just fine. As for the controls of the system, what makes the Joy-Cons interesting. You can either use them as like one controller, or you can go on ahead and just use it like or just split them out in two for some multiplayer gameplay, so you don't really need to pick up a second controller. Granted, I would recommend that you do, but if you don't really have a whole lot of money, just using the Joy-Cons like this will be just fine. And of course, there's a few other accessories they have released with the Switch as well. A few of them comes with the system, that is, if you saw my unboxing video, like the Joy-Con grip thing here. Basically, to slip your Joy-Cons in here. There we go. And bam! It looks and feels more like your traditional controllers. Feels very nice. I am kind of disappointed with the lack of a dedicated D-pad here. It does its job well. But if you are gonna play like a fighting game like Waku Waku 7, then yeah, you probably want to go on ahead and pick up a Pro controller here for the Nintendo Switch. It is a little bit more expensive, yes, but it has a dedicated D-pad, and the analog stick feels slightly better than ones on the Joy-Con grip. And of course, the Joy-Cons themselves have some neat features like really enhanced motion controls, but the only real games that really take advantage of it so far has been 1-2 Switch. And in all honesty, I am not paying $50 just for a bunch of tech demos. I'm sure they're fun, but I'm not paying $50 for them. So, what about the games? Well, obviously, the biggest one is Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Now, I'm not going to show any gameplay footage because I don't feel like getting hit with Nintendo's copyright. But, if you are going to pick up a Switch, or if you have a Wii U, you definitely need to pick this game up for one or the other. Must-have game, I'm calling it Game of the Year. Very big, expansive world, fantastic graphics, some frame rate dips here and there, but otherwise mostly stable. It may be too big of a world for some people, as I myself haven't really touched the main storyline so far, but still, it is still a good game and highly recommended. Now there are a few other games here that I have played for the Nintendo Switch, like Bomberman R here. And if you saw the clips of this while playing the Joy-Con controller by yourself, I'm not very good at Bomberman. But I do have to say that it's nice to see Konami do something with their franchises besides making more pachinko machines. I mean, the gameplay is very fun offline, but online it was very laggy to the point where I just felt torn off by it. I'm sure by now Konami has fixed the issue with the online lag, but my first impression of it was too laggy for my taste. Another game I played for the Nintendo Switch was Waku Waku 7. Now this is the kind of game I kind of love but hate at the same time. If you watched my stream the other day, you kind of know why, but here's a quick overview. The graphics are fantastic, nicely done 2D animations and nicely done sprite work for the characters. The controls felt great, good and great at the same time. Not sure why I combined the two words, but the controls were good, especially with the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. And the music was pretty good. What I really hate about the game was halfway through it, the difficulty ramped up extremely high. Maybe not too extreme, but it really got to the point where the AI was spamming the same moves over and over and over again, to a point where it was just frustrating. And I gotta say, when your difficulty is based around spamming, that's not a good way to develop your fighting game. But I still love it, and if you do have another friend to play with, this would definitely be a fighting game I would love to play with friends. And then lastly, there's Fast RMX. Basically, F-Zero meets Wipeout meets Ikaruga. The gameplay is fast-paced, and you gotta change the color of your ships to get certain boost pads that are on the track for extra speed. The graphics are fantastic with spectacular effects, and the frame rate is at constant 60 frames per second. And unlike Bomberman, the online is pretty stable as well. If you definitely have the Switch and you want something more than Zelda, I highly recommend paying $20 for Fast RMX. So my overall impression of the Nintendo Switch is pretty good. The games for it that I played for it so far are fantastic. Even Bomberman R was good to a certain extent. The combination of handheld and console is very unique. Kind of reminds me of how the Super Nintendo attachment Super Game Boy and the GameCube attachment, the Game Boy Player, try to get your handheld experience on the big screen. And of course, the multiple different control options that you have with the Nintendo Switch is a big plus as well. Now, of course, there is a problem with a lack of games at the moment, but there are all going to be a nice slew of games being released throughout the years. So once more games comes out, like Super Mario Odyssey, then yeah, definitely go on ahead and pick it up. If not, then the only reason you want to pick up a Switch is for Zelda. And if you already have a Wii U, you probably want to go on ahead and pick that up for that system and save yourself $300. But like I said, I have been enjoying the Nintendo Switch a lot, and I do not regret my purchase whatsoever. Anyways, this is Killatia signing off. Hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching my review of the Nintendo Switch. I know no ratings this time around, but I honestly felt it wasn't needed this time around. Anyways, if you like it, please like the video, share with your friends, and even comment on it. Once again, thank you for watching. See you next time.